Quite literally, Ironhead Steamroller. Satanic Beavis Heads. Sun Tzu said, if you know your enemy and yourself, you win in every battle. More or less in these words. Before we proceed, you need to understand this mission. So, before you do anything, the enemy will drop level 1 squads at you, one at a time. And a Warfather here and there. And they shoot the tear cannon at your guys. Once you move out and deal enough damage to the head, they will deploy the security. Whichever head you pick first, they will send a skull raker at you. At the second one, they deploy the hate cage. Each head has its own spot to deploy security. Once you KO one head and finish it off with car, the other one gets fully healed, and shit gets real. They deploy a scream wagon, skull raker and a hate cage in the middle. The reoccurring drops will now be more frequent, as well as having a chance to deploy level 2 squads, including the trebuchets. Once you deal enough damage to the second head, like I mentioned earlier, hate cage. Once you KO and finish off the second head, they don't deploy any more squads, nothing despawns, and none of it matters. You were supposed to proceed to the final challenge, dummy. If you remember from previous episodes, the heads are story-specific buildings. That means you can damage them on your own. Secret Zeppelin attack, face melter, disgorger, side burners, Roman candle, earth shaker. In this particular order. In fact, you can complete this mission entirely on your own. So, the preferred strategy for casuals would be first amass great army and then wipe the enemy off the surface of the brutal land. But you aren't here to listen about casual strategies, are you? Let's start off with something easy. Ignore the initial skirmish entirely. Send them at the right head. Recruit 2 squads of bangers and 3 squads of girls. Or maybe replace the 3rd squad of girls with a Thunderhawk. Just have an army going. Go over there and plant the flag. Then summon car. As you guys arrive, use a battle cry. Then bloodbath. The tear cannon doesn't seem to war against the head, so don't bother. So basically just do whatever. Preferably keep spilling the blood on the head. You could fight them, but that's a waste of time. Once you KO the head, you send all your guys to the other one. You climb here and summon car. I'll have you know that on my first playthrough this was my first thought. Before you drive into the eye, wait till your guys pass the middle. And then, you know, battle cry and all that shit. You could hook up with a girl, but nowadays it is known that you have more powerful beings on you. You go after the right one first, because the security deployment spot for the right head is on top of your headbangers. You don't want a hate cage on top of your headbangers. And also your guys reach it from the starting position sooner than the other one. 1 second or so. Not enough for it to matter, but still. If you have the secret Zeppelin attack, I recommend using it on the second head you hit, right as you start to smash it. If you have shredders, you can use face melter on both heads. Otherwise, if you use it on the first one, it could be used on the second one, but only as a backup. The head dies before cooldown expires if all goes well. Speaking of backup, if your entire army gets incinerated, don't panic. Try to kill the head yourself. It should be almost dead. One more face melter, one more Roman candle, one more bucket of blood, whatever it takes to salvage the situation. Ah yes, and one more thing. If you ever need to come back to finish off the head, you may enter your car that you've summoned earlier through the wall. So, that was a reliable strategy. Now, time for something more metal. If you don't know what you're doing, you die. You may start by flashing the solo menu right off the bat so the album cover goes away. It's optional, but it's easier if you see things. If you have shredders on you, this is how it goes. First you go after the right head. Recruit bangers, 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 girls, Thunderhawks. While your guys are getting there, you plant the flag at the other head. As close to the corner as you can. Place the beacon on it while you are here. Then summon car to the right head. Battle cry, face melter, spill the blood. Notice how I press fly button before getting into car so that I don't initiate mosh pit. You have some time to make sure the beacon is on the other head. Now you need to make a decision. Leave too early, the head dies way slower, or worse, it survives. Leave too late, you miss an opportunity for an optimization. What works for me is to leave as this guy gains control, or his intro animation finishes, however you want to call it. While you are up here, don't waste time to align your send or anything. The camera will shift and ruin it. Once head falls, press the move command on the nearest occasion to send your guys to work. I mentioned that when you kill a head, the other one gets revitalized. Yes, but having guys already in position is still worth the split attack. But only if you are able to consistently vanquish the head fast. Your second battalion may trigger the security deployment too early, putting you at risk. Back to the subject. Usually, you meet your battalion here. They attack the head. But make no mistake, they are freelancing now. Use individual orders to make sure they keep attacking the head when the enemy arrives. Use battle cry to buff them, as well as the arriving backup. Then, since you have shredders, use a face melter. You should be a couple seconds away from going online. I use earth shakers while I wait. Careful not to overheat. Then you fly up and do your thing.
Okay, it's down again.
Often you will find yourself waiting in a car until the head falls. I'll show you a secret now. This is a soft cutscene but with special properties. Or all soft cutscenes are like this, but only here I know this. Don't know, don't care. If this cutscene starts while you are in car, you cannot drive. But if this cutscene starts while you are next to a car, and then you enter car during cutscene, you may drive during cutscene, and even trigger that sequence thing. It works. No crashes, no softlocks, no nothing. I tested it.
Okay, it's down again.
No, not you two.
Okay, it's down.
Alright, now something for different loadouts. It might be 1 or 4 seconds slower, but I don't know. Difficult to measure. The final fights compensate that slowness in this part, but more on that later. So, what to do? Similar, but mirrored. First, you attack the left head, despite what I said about the security earlier. This is the hardcoreness of the strategy. So, same thing. Attack left, same build order, flag goes right, beacon goes right, and now the difference. If you have the Roman candle, use 4 candles, battle cry, 4 candles, face melter. Look behind you. The go time is similar as the previous strategy, when Skullraker gains control. If you have done your routine quickly and you are good at flying into this corridor thingy, you may have time for 1 more candle. If you don't have Roman candle, use car like in previous strategy.
We got one. Eddie, we killed one of the heads.
Can you see now why we switch order? Drive forward, and as soon as car goes airborne from this bump, individual orders on handbaggers, battle cry and spill the blood. The go time now is as soon as the hate cage lands on the ground. If you are worried, stay a little longer, or even until the head falls. But I would say that it's good to leave early. In the event that the worst happens, you still have face melter, which is now ready to fire.
Okay, it's down again.
No, not you two.
Alright, now some words about flying quickly up those tunnel thingies. Remember the dry ice quarry? The slow ascent when you take off for the first time. You probably didn't notice, but when you press the descent button while, let's call it initial ascending, you will shorten it, just to the minimum height. Press, you don't have to hold it. If you press it once, it works, as long as you don't override it with ascend button. Where I'm getting with this? You see, if you use this trick, you can ascend faster. The right tunnel shouldn't be a challenge, but the left one? Ugh. It hangs above the black water, and the water is deep. Deep enough to mess with your maximum hovering height. You just need to wing it every time. If you land within floor, just fly and land slightly forward. If you land on top of that invisible ceiling thing, you could wait until the game drops you down, or fly and land slightly backwards.
Okay, it's down again.
No, not you two. I thought you were the smart one. Okay, let me go finish it off.
Here you are. Carrying the burden of all the great accomplishment you've made, you arrive at the chamber of your final adversary. The Black Slayer, Demon King of the Underground Dark Empire, stands before you. Say fuck yourself to the Black Slayer, Demon King of the Underground Dark Empire. Nobody likes this challenge, for various reasons. The emo kids complain about this game suddenly turning into a hack and slash. They specifically use the term hack and slash while proceeding to cry into the Black Sea. Those scrubs that consider themselves speedrunners have no idea what they are supposed to be doing and die on gentle. But even the metal warriors have a reason to complain, and the reason is that this dipshit just straight up cheats. He can reset himself to neutral position at any time. Yeah, he just plays Guilty Gear doing Roman cancels and shit. And not just him, other AI avatars do this too, and when you get hit, you lose not only health, but also seconds. And, most importantly, his AI stays the same throughout all difficulty levels. You equally lose time when you get hit. The difference is just how many mistakes can you make before you die. Remember what Sun Tzu said? Good, you're doing it again. Lesson 1. Do nothing and observe his behavior.
Silence.
You see this dumb fuck? He has an AI of a common thug. The problems begin once you start pressing buttons.
Pitiful being.
So, desired fight is when he keeps using the heavy swing and you keep dodging it to the side and smack him and he gets in the loop. Or walk out of the way if you are not committed to the four-hitter. Do not dodge it backwards unless you know what you're doing. He moves towards you during the wind-up. Sometimes he blocks. When he blocks, he will not stop blocking for some time. Fire cord, heavy axe swing, rock kick, up to you. Don't do the pyro or earth shaker. You want to preserve your guitar for the chains. But when he wants, he will hit you out of your four-hitter. He can interrupt you after second or third hit with a quick jab, and there's nothing you can do to prevent it. And it's legal actually. He's not in the hit stand for those couple frames. Usually he uses those frames to do heavy swing.
What is
Reminder, you can block hit number 3 even if you got hit by first 2 hits, just like he does. So as soon as you realize you got hit, block. You can buffer this block. After doing his 4-hitter, Black Slayer stands still. If you block 4th hit, you can interrupt your knockback by attacking or rolling. While he is standing still, give him like 2 shockers. Axe is discouraged, he tends to block it, in this situation in particular. If you happen to block the 3rd hit, you can hit him out of his 4th hit, but in this case it's hard as fuck. I'm too slow for this shit. And, you know, Roman cancels, you just don't see it coming. Rock kick comboed into pyro does damage, but you want to save the guitar hit for the chains. Rock kick on its own while he is already on fire, at least would prevent him from blocking fire. Is there a safe strategy? Yes. Stand still and hold block. Wait until he does heavy swing. Roll sideways to dodge it or just straight up walk behind him. Hit him. If you are brave, hit 3 times, otherwise hit 2. Either way, start blocking immediately after the hit connects. Brace yourself for a heavy swing. If you see it, roll or walk. Repeat until victory. Easy, no damage, 1 credit clear. Yet another reminder. Heavy swing is so easy to dodge only in single player. In multiplayer it is to be dodged at the last moment. That all being said, if I ever see you running around like a headless emo kid with red health and waiting for the health regeneration, I'll be disappointed. Even though it's still better than dying, that's just straight up dishonor. Besides, imagine if he was allowed to use his guitar. Chains time. The fastest burst damage you have is 3 pyros, but learn to use them quick first. This is a common mistake. Don't wait for the entire animation to press the button again. The most heat efficient way to blow up the chains is shock, 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 wait, shock, 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 wait, and so on. With recommendation, I present shock, 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 pyro, shock, shock, shock. You will have destroyed 3 chains without overheating. If you have shredders on you, shock, 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 pyro, pyro. Or just 3 pyro. Neither of them would overheat you, so you can flash the solo menu to examine the remaining cooldown period. Your job is to use guitar attacks on chains and axe on druids while guitar is cooling down. I know, they block a lot. Do you still remember about fundamentals? Sweep, but this time you have my permission to use more than one shocker on the chains. You want to balance chains and druids. Even on pro level, the legit cause of death is having too many dudes around after destroying the chains. Not even fundamentals could save you, but then again, you put yourself in this situation. You could use some hardware for dealing with the druids. If you have super shakers, mostly ignore the druids, and once you destroy the chains, time the shaker and enjoy free space. Then, whenever they get close, shake. With chain lightning you should murder some druids, but you can get away with leaving a couple of them. But when you use chain lightning, the Black Slayer is much more agitated. There is something about chain lightning that makes the AI avatars more berserk. He won't even allow you to do the third hit most of the time. With other loadouts, vanquish all the druids before destroying the last chain. No matter which excellent guitar you use, there is a little something that you can buy to improve the quality of life. Pure poetry. They always spawn like this. Hit them before they scatter too much and you're good. It lowers the HP from 3.2 to just 2. And you can use it when your guitar is almost overheated from blowing up 3 chains. And the animation sets you back long enough that the guitar is cold again. Don't use it when the Black Slayer is free. You're gonna get hit no matter what. When nuns are involved, just avoid and dodge. They'll just die when you melt face. But here's a trivia for you. By keeping the druids alive, somehow you can prevent the nuns from arriving in the first place. But I don't know how it works. Either keep a number of druids alive, have specific one alive, or have them stand in specific spot. Your guess is as good as mine. I don't care to research it as I don't have to rely on this. Anyway, when you are pulling down Black Slayer for the second time, do it so that you destroy the final chain with a shocker. Or, if you did it with Pyro, shock him once before using a face melter. If you don't do that, he survives the face melter. So, now you know the basics. How about some real plans? So, let's start with vintage route, utilizing shredders. You have seen this before, and what you see is what you get. You open up with face melter and then do whatever. You have 48 seconds. That's a lot of time. Vanquish all the druids, reactivate Blade Slayer, beat him up, blow the chains up, face melt, and make it to the end. And now, something new. This is exclusive to shredders. I have been using them for the cooldown reduction, but I missed the important property: less guitar heat. You have enough juice in there to destroy all chains without overheating. After you use face melter, make sure your guitar is all the way cold. Then do the shock 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 wait 4 times and break the final chain with Pyro. You are overheated, but the fight is over. If you can do it without being interrupted by screaming nuns, good. You can shock 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 roll to keep yourself on the move. But sometimes you just need to abandon the chains and move out of the way. If you are losing the grip in the heat of a moment, you can buffer it with blocking. As soon as you see the third shock come out, interrupt yourself with blocking, and then mash the guitar button. Now, here's the deal. This strategy makes sense only if you have shredders, and it's not fast as possible. It is only consistently fast. Once you reach the skill ceiling, you will find yourself having face melter still on cooldown for many seconds when you need it right now. I knew it since the beginning all those years ago. I don't think anyone noticed. But, ironically, Shredder's loadout is not suitable to do the other strategy. You can do it, but not consistently. On the beginner level, you can still do the Shredder tactic even if you don't have Shredder. I assume the fighting takes you longer to equalize the lack of reduced cooldown, but I would discourage it. You might want to practice dancing with the Black Slayer. The next strategy works with every other loadout. I recommend Super Shakers. It works the best if you have some sort of ground control. Super Shakers, Power Slide, or, in theory, Grabber and Shock Bomb duo. And Chain Lightning? Like I mentioned, druids go smoothly, but the Black Slayer do not. And it's quite saddening. Either way, since you have no shredders, you are forced to do this one. The power time for the final fight is 70 seconds. If you reach the skill ceiling I mentioned earlier, you will get power time consistently with this one. And, if all goes well, you will be couple seconds faster. My personal best for final duel as of now is sub 1 minute. You are seeing it right now actually.
Gotta wait for her to cool down.
So this time you open up like this. Just go in and smack him before he gains control. And then the Earthshaker to prevent him from doing anything. Hold the forward key to cancel the recoil after the shaker and then start axing. But if you like corner combos and you have rock kick on you, do this. The pyro will hit him out of the heavy swing. Then you just follow it up and do your thing. That's just opening. You still have to deal with Black Slayer and his bullshit. That's the only difference. Everything else like before, except you now have time pressure. You know, break the chains as fast as possible. Reminder that 4 seconds is maximum waiting period if you are fully overheated. Don't find yourself running around for too long while you wait for the guitar to cool off. Actually, those druids are the most problematic part of this strategy. If you choose to go too fast and have many druids along with the Black Slayer roaming free, well, I warned you. Try to open up with Earthshaker. Only the fundamentals can save you. Earthshaker when you are getting surrounded, sweep, fire court on the Black Slayer. But don't spam it, that's gambling. To land it more safely, do it while he is blocking or already committed to the heavy swing. Once you get to the final part of this duel, don't care about the guitar overheating when you destroy the last chain. The fight is over. Go and claim your reward. After a long and difficult battle, you swing your weapon for the last time, and you stop the flow of sand in the hourglass. You look at it to measure the greatness of your victory. For that, I'll give you some arbitrary numbers. For sub 2, you get bronze. For sub 145, you get silver. For sub 130, you get gold. For beating my first published attempt, you get platinum. It's not unbeatable. It seems like that because barely anyone plays this game, let alone playing this game to the finish, let alone doing a second playthrough, let alone speedrunning it. Now that I finished the journey, I will share my thoughts on the upgrades from the Hellforge. You probably noticed a trend. I'm still hell-bent on the concept of Super Shakers. So, therefore, let's talk about 3 build classes. 1. Shredders. This was the first serious loadout. Over time it was discovered that you can obtain more fire tributes, which allows you to buy a little something. I have special moves in mind. And still, there is room for customization. Basically, you spend your tributes on Razor's Edge, Turbo 2, Machine Gun, Shredders. Whatever is left, you spend on special moves and engine level 1. Which special moves you pick is up to you. All of them are good for different situations. Fire Court is nice to have all around, but there are only so few scripted big guys you will be dealing with. Warfather, only if you fail. Evil Rob Halford, he'll start regenerating later, so you delay his inevitable return. Frightwigs? Oh yeah, that's nice to have, boy. Rat Guts? Good idea, but skillfully placed Roman Candle is a good replacement. Emo Queen? Same as Evil Rob Halford. The Black Slayer? Yeah, that's still a legit reason, especially if he misbehaves. How about trading for other special moves? For the same price, I present Roman Candle. The benefits include the flashy tactics in the Cleave of the Impaler, powerful rat remover if you mismanage car health, strong backup plan and damage dealer to use on satanic Beavis heads. Then there's Shock Bomb, the trick at the dry ice quarry and overall 2 points of splash damage. Grabber helps you land Shock Bomb more quickly and lets you pull shit in range for a face melter. Power Slide! And Rock Kick against avatars. Loadout Class 2, Super Shakers. Basically, you replace Shredders with Super Shakers. It is up to you if you want to buy super shakers at the first or second visit. It depends on your selection of special moves. Super shakers at the first visit allows you to use it at the Battle of Bladehenge at the expense of performance level 1. A reminder that super shakers in theory do not speed up Battle of Bladehenge, while engine level 1 speeds up those free road trips. Overall, I would say that super shakers grant possibility for faster times, but you need to be experienced metal warrior to appreciate it. Loadout class 3, beginner level. That's just a theoretical build since that's not how I started. In this one you buy all the special moves and nothing else, except machine gun and OP DLC weaponry. The idea behind this is to ignore speedrunning strategies and learn about existence of all the special moves and refine the art of combat. And now I will talk about some random shit I thought of along the way. Are you tired of waiting for the secondary mission pop-up? I'm not, but here's the remedy. Bind the cancel button somewhere else. Then you exit the pop-up with escape and cancel the solos with the key of your choice. I knew that since episode 5, but didn't mention it to see if you noticed. I tried that and it worked, but I thought it would take ages to root out the old habit of cancelling with escape. It took 1 day to root out the old habit. This quality of life is brought to you by Sharin Gamer, the only man I know of, besides me, that reached level 2 ascension of solo cancelling. For a while now I had a hunch that you can block shockers. Exactly 1 year later, I remember to test it. I mean, why wouldn't you be able to block it? Wait, if blocking is so powerful, then what happens when this guy blocks? You are grinding a segment. You pause the game to reload checkpoint, but the game opens tourbook instead. Well, there's no problem if you try the same thing with the solo menu open. This is from episode 5. I noticed that this guy's positioning is out of the ordinary, but not how he got there.
Barons are fast.
Please don't tell him all the bad stuff.
So there is a way to interrupt their solos. But is it because of their AI responding or the candle lifting them off the ground is yet unknown. If I want to see if I'm overheated or not, I flash the solo menu. And now you know all the secrets of the brutal magic justice I could teach you. The tutorial is complete. My effort is wasted. Nobody gonna watch this shit. But hey, since you made it so far, listening to these words, maybe you are different. Maybe you got what it takes to claim your seat at the top of a mountain. You've been watching for long enough. Go. Go, my son, and rock!
A good roadie knows his whole job is to make someone else look good, keep someone else safe, help someone else do what they were put here to do. A good roadie stays out of the spotlight. If he's doing his job right, you don't even know he's there. Once in a while he might step on stage just to fix a problem, to set something right. But then before you even realize he was there, or what he did, he's gone.
So, I made it seem like I'm ending the video. For the final time. I lied. Remember the black tear riddle? Time to reveal the answer. It takes couple tries, but you get it eventually.
Ricochet.